Ceros provides some built-in SEO features and customizable elements in the settings panel. These features and elements will ensure that your content is accessible, readable, and optimized. Our SEO properties live in the settings panel in the Ceros Studio. The first tab is the Experience Settings tab. Here is where you can change the title of your experience, the experience URL, add a vanity domain URL, a redirect URL, and change the primary document language. The next tab in the settings panel is the SEO tab. This is where most of those short-term strategies we covered earlier come into play. You can add title keywords, a meta description, a canonical URL, or no script HTML. If you've created a Ceros experience that you'd like to hide from search engines, like an internal presentation or pitch, you can check the box at the top to disable SEO. One last thing to remember here is that these fields should be filled out before you publish your experience for them to be immediately effective. The next tab is for sharing on social media. If you've included social sharing as part of your strategy and UX for this experience, make sure to add your title and description here, as well as an image or GIF. These settings you apply here will auto-populate a social post when someone shares your content on a social media site. The Custom HTML tab is available for you to add any type of HTML code to your experience. If you're creating content with custom coding or SDK functionality, you'll probably spend some time here. Next, we have the Performance tab. There are a few different elements in this tab to consider. The first is called Progressive Image Loading, which makes sure that images are displayed in lower resolution first, then higher res. This makes sure that your users are not staring at a blank screen waiting for your gorgeous images to load, but rather have a split second of a low-res image displayed before the ultimate resolution. Next is Lazy Loading. This functionality prioritizes loading and displaying content in your experience for the user's current viewport. Again, to minimize the amount of time a user might spend looking at a blank page, lazy loading will load the content at the top of the page first, then the next section, and so forth as the user scrolls. You should typically have both of these elements checked on for your experiences to help with optimizations. Underneath these, you'll see Text Rendering Mode. This determines the ways the text in your experience is rendered, either by component, line, or individual character. The default and recommended state here is component, in which text is rendered by the entire text component or box. In the next video lesson, we'll dive into how to apply optimizations to assets on the canvas.